one thing I gained when I was here at Monmouth was the professors I had took me under their wing and helped me develop as a person, and that's part of the Monmouth experience because of the relationships you develop. And the faculty and the administration and the students. Most of my lifelong friends were developed here at Monmouth and are still my closest friends.
In the 50s, Monmouth College had emerged to the point that it was recognized amongst the very best liberal arts colleges in the Midwest. One of the things that we were very well known for was creating new scientists, perhaps the most prolific of undergraduate colleges in producing PhD candidates in the sciences. We've remained a very strong college, but we're looking to bring that reputation back. We should also always be looking for that unique idea that may come along only once a decade, or maybe only a couple times a century, that if you seize it and grab it, it will have an impact for generations to come at the institution. And when people tell the history of the college, they will go back and they'll say, remember when we came up with a new curriculum, or remember when we decided to expand, or remember when we tried to focus on a specific initiative. Or perhaps, remember when we decided to become a leader in integrated learning in sciences and business.
The most important thing that we have on campus right now is the effort to raise funds to support the integration of the business and sciences on the Monmouth campus. We are aggressively going after the development of a fine new building which will bring together both the science and business disciplines under one roof, and I think it's incredibly important for us to have that opportunity and to have that structure obviously be built here on campus. It's terribly important for the college. I believe that it is kind of groundbreaking, and we are able to build here a distinct advantage and step out ahead of other colleges.
Countries like Japan, even as India gets wealthier.
An unmarked turtle, so that's good. So I'm going to mark this one as number 83.
When we first began thinking about this, it was for very pragmatic reasons. We needed new buildings. We needed new facilities. As we thought about a way to justify those facilities and the cost of those facilities and make sure that they were designed for the future, we started thinking about student learning. And as we thought about student learning, we realized that there was an opportunity in these two areas, science and business, to reinforce Monmouth's basic tenet, and that is that at Monmouth College the curriculum is centered around integrating ideas. We think that there certainly is a place in this world for specialists, and most of higher education is focusing on generating students who know more and more about less and less. They become specialists on a very specific piece of a problem. You need those people to solve problems, but you also need leaders who can understand how to bring all of those specialists together and integrate those ideas and that knowledge into a solution for a problem. Monmouth hopes to be the place that educates those integrators, those people who know how to bring knowledge together.
The preferred form of the medium.
It's a very exciting time at Monmouth College as we plan for the future. This new building gives us an opportunity to build a facility for the 21st century. And that's an exciting opportunity because education has changed. When I first came to Monmouth College 33 years ago, lecture was mainly 50 minutes of lecture. Students sat in fixed seats. Today that's changed. And so you need lecture rooms designed so that you can have a little bit of lecture and then the students can break up into groups to go over information. The same is true in the laboratories. Laboratories used to be everybody had their own station and they would do their own thing. Today you work sometimes like that, but other times you work in groups. And so you need to design a lab that can have groups of 3, 4, 5 people working together on a project trying to solve a question that's posed to them. Lots of people are building integrated buildings that will just integrate like chemistry and biology together. This goes on to add the business in there, hopefully to allow our business majors to become more knowledgeable about science issues and science facts, but also our science majors to become more knowledgeable about the business world. Because if we're going to solve the problems in the world today, that this integration in these groups has to take place.
There are various ways to allocate scarce resources, and we've spent the most of our time on a price system. And
we can see where the world is going, and we can make changes to go there. It's a really different way of educating students. I mean, we don't want them to think of themselves as, well, I'm a physics student, or I'm a chemistry student, or I'm a biology student. Well, I'm a science student who's broadly, liberally educated, and I know something about lots of sciences. I happen to have a specialty in some subdiscipline, but I know some economics, and I know some marketing, and that's the kind of student that we want. That's our goal at Monmouth College. So we get this feedback from our alums, which is extraordinarily important to us, and it really shows us that, yes, this is the way the world is going.
You know, business is everywhere. Everyone's in business. I mean, no matter what your specialty is, you're in a business. So I don't care if you're a doctor, a chemist, whatever it is, you're in a business.
And thinking about where we're situated, of course, in western Illinois, we have the development of ethanol, of course, a hot topic in the U.S. today, as well as, for example, wind energy. If you think about those two products, or those two deliverables, energy and ethanol, it takes both science to develop the right corn. It takes a distribution network to make sure that you get it into the right hands. It takes science to understand the mix. It takes business folks to understand how this will all be communicated, marketed, developed, and so forth. But the same is true on wind. If you've got wind energy, you need to have both the science involved with how it's developed, the physics in terms of how the wind power will be generated, where it's most productive, what's the probability that the wind will blow at a certain speed at a certain period of time. What do you do when it's not available? How do you transfer that power and ultimately get it sold into the grid? And then again, how is it marketed and ultimately delivered to homes? So it's really exciting. There's so many things that are going on in the country that have really a roots right here in western Illinois. And I think if I were a major donor thinking about that and discussing the possibility of being involved and engaged with a college that is really going to be at the leading edge of all of that, I think I'd be able to convince that individual, and certainly I've convinced myself that this is something that's very, very worthwhile and something which will set Monmouth College apart from the rest of the pack.
Science and business are the engines of prosperity for society. Together, science creates the problems, it unlocks nature's mysteries, and then businessmen translate those into opportunities. And students who understand discovery and invention, scientists and entrepreneurs, are going to have a better chance to succeed and change the world and solve problems.
One of our programs that has really thrived is our business program. We call it Political Economics and Commerce, because we want to suggest that the program is really more than just basic business, but it's understanding the theory of business and how it works to build a strong economy. The Political Economics and Commerce Department has been one of our strongest. They're bursting at the seams. They need a new building because they have such popularity amongst their students. The Science Department could use a few more students. We think that they're a very solid department with good faculty, and we're hiring some very good new faculty in that area. But their enrollment's a bit down, and one of the reasons their enrollment's a bit down is that we don't have modern facilities for that group. And so we need new facilities for business because they're bursting at the seams. We need new facilities for the sciences because the facilities are a bit worn out.
We're trying to generate the type of environment that encourages and grows this type of integrated, cross-disciplinary exploration of ideas and thoughts, and take that even out of the classroom in particular, not just something that goes back to the integrated learning, that it's, learning's not just something you do in the 50 to 2 hours you're in a class, or hour and a half you're in a class. It's something that you can do in and out of the class, and what you learn in the class can be applied to any number of things.
I'm working with a